What's going on, everybody? If you're seeing this page, that means the official Torian Rain Reloaded merch store is now available. To get access to the store, make sure you go ahead and click the store tab on my YouTube channel. From there, you will be able to see all the merch that is available. We have mugs, shirts, hoodies, joggers, and so much more to come. All original designs made by yours truly, Torian Rain Reloaded. Now go ahead and get your merch today, and you can feel nothing in style. What are the odds that I just recently did a video coming out of Chicago, Illinois about an individual who got arrested multiple times for narcotics within a 10-day span? And what are the odds that I do a live stream recently where one of the stories was talking about south of the Bordarians robbing these stores during Black Friday, that I end up getting another story that falls into my lap coming out of Illinois, of this place called Oak Brook. I don't know how close or far that is from Chicago, in Illinois, where you have these two individuals right here who are south of the Bordarians via Venezuela. It's always Venezuela, who was accused of stealing over $750 worth of merchandise from a Macy's in a place called Oak Brook, Illinois. I keep telling y'all, the rise of the new criminal class has begun, and honestly, that new criminal class is here, and they are letting their presence be known. Charges have been filed against two men from Venezuela accused of stealing more than $750 worth of merchandise from a Macy's in Oak Brook, DuPage County State's Attorney Robert Berlin said. According to Berlin, 27-year-old LaGuinier Guevara Muro and 20-year-old Gender Moises and Angulo Aparicio, both Venezuelan migrants, have both been charged with one count of burglary and one count of retail theft. According to Oak Brook Chief of Police Brian Strakis, the two men were taken into custody on Saturday after they allegedly stole $770.50 worth of merchandise from the department store. Police say the two men allegedly entered the store at 1 Oak Brook Center just after 12:40 p.m. Authorities allege Guevara Muro brought along a foil-lined bag, and the two men filled it with several items. According to police, Guevara Muro allegedly left the store without paying for any of the items and was followed by a loss prevention officer from the store. When the store's officer confronted Guevara Muro, he allegedly refused to stop. An Oak Brook police officer later spotted Guevara Muro and asked him to stop walking, but he allegedly refused. When the officers attempted to take him into custody, police say he resisted arrest, and the officer had to bring him down to the ground to put him in handcuffs. Oh, isn't that just grand? Because had this man been a black man, we already know how that would have played out. According to police, Angulo Aparicio left the store a short time later and was taken into custody. For the second day in a row, my office has filed charges against individuals from Venezuela accused of stealing merchandise from a retail store. Second day in a row. Again, this is going to continue to happen. It's going to continue to happen. They said this is the second day in a row that this has happened at this, not at this store, but at a retail store, and they just happen to be SOBs from Venezuela. Again, these are the ones coming across that border illegally and allowed to just plant themselves in this state and do whatever. But let this just be a cautionary tale, because this is going to happen once they start to spread out to other states. Because don't think they just going to stay condoned or not stay contained into Chicago and New York, or Illinois and New York. Eventually they're going to spread out to other places, and they're going to do the same thing there, because what they've been doing in their homeland is what they're doing over here. They're bringing their bad habits from over there and bringing it here. As I have said before, but bears repeating, as we are in the midst of the holiday shopping season, we will continue to do everything we can to protect our businesses and customers, and anyone who shoplifts will be arrested, charged, and prosecuted. Oak Brook Police Chief Strakis said the department is taking steps to minimize retail theft this holiday season. We are saturating our retail areas with marked patrol officers and undercover officers to keep shoppers and business safe during this busy holiday shopping season. If you intend to come to Oak Brook to steal, you will be caught and arrested. During a court appearance on Sunday, a judge denied pretrial release for Guevara Muro and granted pretrial release for Angulo Aparicio. Angulo Aparicio is set to appear for arraignment on December 18th. On Monday, December 18th, and Guevara Muro will appear in court for arraignment on Monday, December 11th. According to Berlin, Angulo Aparicio is prohibited from entering the Oak Brook Macy store as a condition of his release. Well, they need to put up a notice for him to not go to any other store, because yeah, that's fine. You're not going to allow him to go into that particular store because that's the store that he hit. But what's to stop him from going to another retail store? Like, that's dumb. They need to put up a notice and say that he's banned from going to any retail store in that area. And if they really want to ramp it up, put it on notice to not have him go to any retail store in the city, the county, the state, if they can make it go that wide. But I highly doubt they're going to go that far. But they should, because you're just saying, okay, I won't go there, but guess what? That's not the only Macy's I can go to. Or that's not the only department store I can go to. There's several other stores I can hit. Like, he's probably already formulated that in his head. Anything can happen between now and before their arraignment, which is like a couple weeks away. And I'm recording this video on November 27, 2023. So again, the rise of the new criminal class, and they said this is the second day in a row that this has happened. And like they said, as the holiday season is growing near and everyone's going out shopping and all of that, that's ripe for the picking for them. That's perfect for them to go and do what they're attempting to do. One thing that's pretty much shocking me is the fact of how little merchandise they're getting as far as pricing goes, as far as value, because you would think that they're going to try to make off with way more than $750 worth of stuff. They came up a little short. So it makes me wonder, what did they grab? Because it didn't add up to be that much. Just like when I was talking about in my live stream about those other two, they stole about $500 worth of stuff. So they're not stealing a lot of high-end things that will total to over $1,000, because they're not even touching it. So they're probably just stealing clothes. They're not taking like any jewelry, which of course is valued way higher. But of course, when it comes to jewelry, it's kind of hard to get to because it's behind a glass, and it's usually always somebody there to get it. To watch that. But when it comes to clothes, those are easier to take because it's not like they have a whole monitor watching all of those clothes all at one time. That's a lot of stuff to watch. And then when you think that some stores are heavily understaffed, that's another easy way for them to get away too. But they also need to make sure that it's heavily secured. Like, they need to have security not just outside of the store or have those metal detectors, but they need to have security inside of the store as well. And another question, who's watching the cameras? Because all department stores and retail stores have cameras in them, and I know there should be someone watching those cameras. But see, like I said, they stole clothes. They most likely stole clothes and made their way out of there, or they tried to, and they got caught, and they added it up, and that's how much it came out to. And that in turn hurts the business, because that means, if they was to get away with it, that means that the store just lost $750 worth of finance that they got to recoup, and they got to scramble to try to recoup that money because of inventory. So they lost merchandise and money. So it's like, it may not seem like $750 may not seem like a lot to us, because it's really not, but to them it is, because they basically just took a hit. So, but they don't care. And when I say them, I'm talking about the two on the screen. They don't care. They just saw something that they wanted to take, and they probably didn't even buy it necessarily just for them, for all we know. Well, two things. One, they could have bought it for themselves, depending on the clothing items, to either have for themselves to try to keep warm because of these Arctic conditions, or to give to their families, assuming they came over with their families, because let's be real here, a lot of them came over by themselves. Or two, they got it so they could try to sell it for more to get more money. That's probably what they probably did. All you got to do is look back to see what they were doing in their homeland. But oh yeah, you can't do that because they don't have no paperwork. They just let them come right on in. Again, they are allowing the new criminal element to just come and flood right in, and you have no documents on them. You have no papers on them. You don't know what they did over there. and why they're not over there anymore. A lot of them say they're coming over here to get a good life. No, they're running. A lot of them are running away from the bad life they had over there, and they're just restarting over here because they like, oh, we're going to go over to America and we're going to go rob them. Such a colonizing mentality when you put it into perspective and in hindsight.